So today we have an 8L90 sitting here on the bench, and it's coming out of a 2015 GMC Yukon 6.2 liter. This is at GNR Automotive, and they have purchased the vehicle, and it has a bent push rod. Also noting that we have a delayed engagement into drive and reverse. Let's take it apart and see if anything's been updated. George noted that the vehicle showed signs that the transmission had been out previously. So let's see what we get. 10mm bolts to take off the pan. He's already removed the pan and drained the fluid. Didn't really find any signs of large debris, so the fluid was jet black. It's typically normal when no maintenance has been performed on these guys. I don't think it's jet black, but she is pretty dark. Looks like it's never been serviced. Slide that guy over here. Going to upside down. Now I will say that some typical problems that the 8L90 has with 2015 year models is delayed engagement into drive and reverse, shredder conditions, P0711 DTC, which is for that guy right there. It is transmission fluid temp erratic. Remove the connector to the internal mode switch. This is your park neutral safety switch. Your default override valve. Let's see if we can get that guy without breaking nothing here. Yeah, that's your default override valve. Get this guy to disconnect today. Now these solenoids, whenever you replace the harness, there are two that you can actually plug in backwards, and that will be this guy and this guy. So if you're ever replacing the harness, short end goes towards the back, long end towards here. I have actually had somebody take and make that guy fit and come over here and work and plug in. If you do that, you will have a no fourth gear condition and no codes, because technically the computer thinks that everything's plugged in. This little retainer here off the valve body. Going to release our tabs here and here and here. This is going to get a new harness. No, I didn't get my needle nose pliers. Probably need to go get that. Right. Much easier. Alright, let's look around. 8mm to the detent on the rooster cone. And we have a spring retained arm latch for the manual valve. Pull it back, slide it off, slide it back. So there are two different size E-Torx plus 10. Let me grab that socket. Apparently unprepared for that guy today. Where are we going? Where are we going? 10, 12. 10mm E-Torx Plus. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, short bolt. So if you take a look at where the valve body is, the higher raised ends are going to have the longer bolts. The ones deeply recessed are going to be the shorter bolts. That'll help you when doing a reassembly. Now these aluminum bolts, this is the baffle, or fluid dam baffle, to keep fluid from flying all over the place and lubricating on the pump side. So on the pump there is a chain driven gear and a latch that we have to go in and pop that guy up and slide it out. There it is. Pull it back, pop it up, and the chain slides off. Make sure we have all the bolts. I don't see any more. I may have one. Where am I missing one guy? I feel like it's in here. Right there. Come to me. Slide this out the way. You'll need a slide hammer. It'll help you out very good with what we're going to do with removing the front cover. We'll move this to the side and go through that later. So I want to take and I want to see if I can air check some of this first, because what we're going to do is we'll get the electronics out the way. So these aluminum E-Torx Plus bolts are a one-time use to be replaced every time, but there has been some instances where I did not have any, could not get any in the past. There might have been 1 or 2 units that I've done. As long as you're really careful and you tighten them down by hand, you might can get away with it. Take and remove that. There's your park rod actuator. That rod goes into that arm, just like that. Lock it into park, holds the vehicle. A minor hammer on that guy. Come on, easy. This connector is going to be replaced anyways. Not going to reuse that one. The tabs break off. Alright, let's get some AIR. Roll with me today. Let's put this little seal passage back in the case. That is our 1278 reverse brake clutch. Now this guy right here is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reverse, and I'm gonna have to get a piece to put there and block that hole. So got some bleed over. There's our lockup. And converter charge. 1, 2. Some more or less. Let's see. Cooler out. This is cooler return. Alright. See if we can get something to adjust that one. Pretty sure it's still okay. But there's some updated parts that need to be installed into this unit for the problems that they do have directly from the factory. Pieces from the Sonic's vacuum test kit. I wonder if we may have a problem there, or if that is just air bleed. Let's add just a hair of air. Barely have motion. There we go. Got some movement there. It's not full shop air. No, I do not have a regulator on it. Unknown pressure, if you're wanting to ask. To the front cover, we have 11 10mm bolts. And these are thread sealed into the cover and to the threads. One more. M5U is a lockup O-ring in 2019. I do believe it is in 2019. Don't hold me on that, but they've changed it to where this whole section is redesigned and the converter is different as well. So one section here, one section there that is threaded into the front cover. And go and thread the slide hammer in. Pull off that guy. Going to take a look and see which design we have. Somebody has changed the front support, stator support assembly. So right here, this is the early design. It's for a drain back concern or delayed engagement. The updated design has another check valve that's going to be here, and it is redesigned. They do state that The updated gasket is interchangeable with early and late design. I still go with the later design gasket. I'd like things to match. We're going to have to grab a 13mm socket for these bolts around here on the support. Let's give her some air. Around the hip. Do. You're right in here. Just slide that off. The bearing, black side up towards the front side of this cover. There's also a shim here, and it is a part of how you can change the end play. There's also going to be, I believe, there's another bearing and a shim on the back side there as well. So that guy's going to get replaced. This is the 1357 reverse shim and bearing. We're going to go through this unit and change some of the, don't get you away from me. Change some of the clearances, update some parts, and get this thing fixed. Going through the valve body. Fix some things there. Look like wide clearance just by visual to me. See no heat. What you talking about? Somebody's been in your transmission? Oh yeah, but it had. Yeah. It's doing a similar thing. So I'm wondering if the metal back in there. Probably gonna have to go through that guy. That Allison is going to have to come out. It being so low of mileage and as old as that thing is, and I'm just wondering if the seal's deteriorated and it's starting to, like the clutches are starting to flake off, converter's starting to go out. Just remember, that's what I'm wondering is actually going on with it.
Somebody's been in the transmission before at a different shop, so.
Somebody has? Well, so now we find this out later?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody's been inside of it.
This would be 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Maybe 8. Been a minute.
Oh, and we got one
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reverse. Doesn't look bad. We're going to have to go, like I said, throughout this entire unit, and a lot of clearances are going to be updated, changed. Parts are going to be updated. There's a late updated piston here. Going to make sure that we check and that drum isn't beat up. I don't want nothing sticking. Might as well get a new drum. New drum, updated pistons. First planet. Typically don't see anything wrong with the planetary gears in these units. Sure we put that guy together. Save room on the table. All right. We have our plastic spacer, plastic thrust washer. Ooh, there's somebody been in that guy, because usually that don't fall off. Somebody had that off before and trans-gel it back on. The overhaul kits come with new plastic shims. If you get an OEM overhaul kit. I haven't really used the aftermarket, so I can't say too much with that. So you have this right here that you need to take out. It is a center support, and there is an updated design on that guy too. For the piston wearing, it's a different type of material. Just walk it around. Take that snap ring out that guy. We're almost there. Here we go. Taken yanked really smoothly. That piston looked wore out. Return spring's digging into that pretty good. Always gets a new piston. There's an updated design center support. This is your piston return spring. Make sure that when you install it that it is face dead way, not the other way. Otherwise that clutch stays applied and you'll have a bad day. Ask me how I know. See if I can get in here and get this clutch out first before we take the back half off. Now this clutch pack from the factory, when you order it, is already selected and pre-packaged, pre-selected clearance. All right, for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reverse clutch, you see what I got right there? Through the side of the case, these two little holes go into the one side. You can push that little snap ring through, come on around and pull it out. Now we can kind of go in here and we're going to pull the clutch hub out, and we're going to take and pull the planet with the clutch assembly. Take a look at that guy. Got some heat spots on there. No. Looks good. This doesn't look bad. Wow. Well, let's see, those planetaries have issues. They're going to grab the output shaft. Now, when you do that, make sure you grab this bearing right here in the back. This housing's probably going to have to be updated with a loaded assembly. Don't ever forget that. One guy didn't have park after the fact. All right, we'll get moving around. Raise it up. We're going to take and remove the 15mm bolts around the extension housing and take that off. Going to have to add some air for that guy. La da 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 da. Travis in there talking about stuff in his yard. All right. Forgot one last thing. There are two 13mm bolts in the back. We need to get out of there. Round snap ring? Is it a round snap ring or is it a flat one? Curiosity. And it is a come on. Looks round. It looks round. I'm just going to take a little peek. Might be flat. I'm going to have to look at the history on this thing. Wonder why the transmission was out. What did they do? What did they do? So I guess we're going to have to replace everything but the case. Wonder. I'm just kidding. In the next video, we'll take that guy apart.